Students, welcome in Devati Modi Public School, Class 6, Lesson number 7, Introduction to Python. After going through this chapter, you will be able to use the Python development environment, write and execute Python programs, identify data types, explain keywords, variable and identifiers, evaluate expression using operators, and make use of conditional statement. What is Python? Python is an interpreted, object oriented, high level programming language with dynamic semantics. Python's simply easy to learn syntax, emphasize readability, and therefore reduce the cost of programs maintenance. Python support modules and packages which encourage programs modularity and code reuse. Python was developed by the Dutch programmer Guido van Rossum at the National Research Institute for Mathematics and Computer Science in Netherlands in early 1990s. Python have the advantage and disadvantage both. Advantage: improved productivity, interpreted language, dynamically typed, free and open source, fast library support. But it also have the disadvantage: slow speed, not memory efficient, weak in mobile computing, database access, runtime error. Now Python's development environment. The default Python's default installation comes with the Python interpreter and integrated development and learning environment IDLE. The Python interpreter translates the Python code into a form that a computer can understand. The IDLE is the standard Python development environment. It provides an environment to write and run program. IDLE works in two modules, interactive and script. The interactive mode is useful for running a single line to code. It displays the result automatically. The script modes lets you work with more than one line of code. You can save the file or script and then run the code. Syntax. What is syntax? Syntax of the Python programming language is the set of rules that define how a Python programs will be written and interpreted by both the runtime system and human readers. For example, print hello world and then print hello world. Python is a case sensitive language. If the argument of the print function is a string, that is a sequence of character, it is enclosed within a pair of quotation mark. Data types. What are the data types? Data types are the classification or categorization of data items. It represents the kind of values that tells what operation can be performed on a particular data. Since everything is an object in Python programming, data types are actually classes and variable are instant object of these classes. The name of a person is made up of a combination of letters of the English alphabets, numeric, dictionary, boolean, set, and sequence type. Numeric may be integer, complex number, or a float. Sequence type string, list, and the tuple. Elements of Pythons. The element of Pythons are differentiate in a keywords, identifier, and the variable. Keywords. What are the keywords? Keywords are the reserved words in a Python that have a special meaning associated with them. They define the syntax and the structure of the Python language. Python has 33 keywords. These keywords are the case sensitive and has a fixed meaning. Identifier. An identifier is a name Given to a programming element, it helps in identify individual element. An identifier should be written. An identifier can be any combination of lowercase letter means A to Z, uppercase letter means a capital letter, digit 0 to 9 and underscore. For example, hello underscore world are the valid identifier. Second, an identifier name can start with an underscore. For example, underscore my class 1. An identifier cannot begin with a digit number. With a digit, for example, 1 bar, a 1 class cannot be identifier, but variable 1 is a valid identifier. Keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Symbols, special symbol except underscore such as a hashtag and at the rate can be used in identifier. An identifier name cannot be contain any space. Identifier names are case sensitive. Identifiers can be of any length. Variables. The letter used to represent number or some other quantities are called the literal, as literal can take any value. These are also known as variables. A Python variable is a reserved memory location to store value. In other words, a variable in a Python program gives data to the computer processing. Every value in Python has a data type. Different data type in Python are the number, list, tuple, string, dictionary, etc. Rules for creating the variable in Python. A variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. Second, a variable name cannot start with a number. Third, a variable name can only contain alphanumeric character and underscore. Operators. What are the operators in a Python? Operators in general are used to perform operation on value and variables. These are standard symbols used for the purpose of logical and arithmetic operation. Types of operators in the programming language. Arithmetic. Arithmetic means used for the arithmetic calculation. Comparison used for the comparing values. Logical used in logical calculation. Assignment operator used to assign values to a variable. Here are the two words operator and the operand. Operator is a symbol that represent an action such as plus, minus, multiplication and the division. And an operand is a number on which an operator acts. Next is a conditional statement. What are the conditional statement? A conditional control structure is used to execute statement based on some condition. For example, if it rains, I will wear a raincoat. It shows a condition. It shows a situation and a condition. When the condition is associated with the statement, there is a true only, then we want to execute the related or the associated statement. Otherwise, we want to ignore or skip those statements. There are following types of conditional statement. If statement, if else statement, if else if means a nested statement.